Coming up on Down Under EV Adventures, my wife gets a new charger for her EV, we get the batteries installed and linked up to the solar system, and we're very happy. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Great to have you with us. And my wife is very happy this morning because she's got a new EV charger and she no longer has to use the granny charger to charge her BYD. And that's because we had our battery system installed. It was completed on Saturday evening very late, and Narendra from Vista Electrical Controls stayed behind in the evening to show us how it all works. So he took us through the internal fuse box here that you can see, explained how we could set it up how we liked, whether we wanted it to be automatically to come on when we had a power cut or if we wanted to do it manually. I'll show you that part later on. And I have to commend Vista because they were very thorough. They took us through the procedure to shut down and reset the inverter as well outside. You can see here we were doing this quite late in the evening. So I was very happy to learn a bit more about the system. And we ended up having some more batteries installed. So originally we were just going to go for around that 10 kilowatt, but we ended up getting close to 25 kilowatts in the end, kilowatt hours of batteries. So I'll show you all that later on. But let's start with looking at the new charger, which you can see here. Now I'm doing a voiceover for this part because it was a bit windy this morning and the audio wasn't very good. So you can see here it's been mounted on the side there at the front. The power goes up there through the roof and it's very close to my wife's green machine, so she's very happy now. She can just charge away. Now let's go inside and have a look at the fuse box, the internal fuse box, where I explain a little bit more about how this all works. Now inside here, which is our main fuse box, you can see here this is the changeover switch here. So you can set it to come on automatically. So you can have this in this position here, the alternate energy supply, which is of course the batteries, and then there'll be a smooth changeover if there's a power cut. However, we've opted to do it manually, so if there's a power cut we have to actually come here and flick that manually. The reason is because the inverter is 10 kilowatts, and if we happen to be exceeding that, it would trip the inverter outside, and then there's a bit of a procedure to reset it, which I'll show you in a minute. So we've decided to do it manually, which is fine for us. We're happy to come in and do it manually. But for people who maybe don't have an EV charger which draws a lot of power, or you know they have a low drawing household, they may want to opt to put that in this position here, and then if there is a power cut, well, you don't have to worry about doing anything. There's just a smooth transition. You won't even notice that it's using the battery power. Now we had a modular battery system installed, and they're actually LiPo batteries. So LFP batteries, the same as what is in the BYDs or most of the BYD cars. So a very safe battery chemistry. And due to the rebate that we get from the federal government, we opted to use that rebate and get some more batteries. So we increased our capacity from 10 to around about 25 kilowatts, which is going to be more than enough to last us through the night. Let's have a look at it. So you can see there we've got 8 batteries all stacked up nicely, and on top is the control unit, which is the smarts of the unit, and that controls everything. And you've got the inverter here, which is also vitally important as well. And if it ever needs to shut down anything, you saw in that clip there that I showed you before, you can see there that's just a switch which will trip and you need to reset. It will only be an issue if you exceed that 10 kilowatts while you're using the battery storage, if there's a power cut or something. So provided you don't go above that 10 kilowatts, that would never trip. You wouldn't have to worry about it. But yeah, and these are the switches here to shut down this if you have any issues. You can see here I've got some protection, but I will need to make a bit more because obviously it gets very hot here in summer and you will get some sun shining through there on the side. Another thing worth noting here is in Western Australia you need to have like a barrier, fireproof barrier between the batteries and your house. If it's made of timber like mine, I'm not sure if it's brick, you may not have to do that, but obviously you can see they do it for a good reason. If there was in the very minute chance that these were to go up in flames, then hopefully it would protect your house from getting burned. However, there's only a minuscule percentage of fires from home battery systems, so it's not something that I lay awake at night worrying about. So that is a look at our setup, and my wife is obviously very happy that she's got the charger for her car. Now, the Sems Plus portal is the app that you'll need to download for this particular system, the Goodwe one. Now on the app it will show you a few things. You can see there, even in a cloudy spell, it was still charging a bit. We had up to 87% by about 10 o'clock this morning. Now you can see there, that's how much you're producing from the solar, so it was a bit of a cloudy spot. And it wasn't long till the sun came out again, and there you go. We're charging at much higher rate now, up to 92%, and we're producing 7.23 kilowatts then from the solar. Now there are a couple of other things here. You are drawing a little bit from the grid. That's because there's a connection still between the mains, just in case you do need to draw off the grid. It's just the way it's set up. And this is how much the household is consuming, 1.3 kilowatts. Now this is what it was first thing in the morning, so we weren't producing anything and it was discharging the battery. You can see here nothing producing from the solar, and we had a split system going, so we were drawing 2.55 kilowatts. So yeah, we still had about 30% this morning first thing, and these are some graphs which come up as well. You can check out how you progress during the day, how much you've produced totally on your roof, and you could even see what your environmental contributions are. So a lot you can do with the app there. So yeah, that's our setup system, and I can definitely highly recommend. There's never been a better time to really have solar and batteries, especially in Western Australia with the rebates. So we only opted for the federal rebate, but there is a state rebate as well if you want. And of course I've still got my charger there at the back as well. But we're probably not going to charge our cars at the same time to make sure that we can really minimize our costs and pay next to nothing for power. So our power bill should be very low or non-existent. So that's our look at our system. And if you've got one, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your setup is. Now, coming up in Down Under EV Adventures, I do my longest ever trip in an EV, or at least the furthest north in an EV, where I take in the sights and I go up as far as Carnarvon into the northwest of Western Australia. It's a fantastic trip, and also I go to the most westerly EV charger in Australia. So you've got all that to look forward to and more on Down Under EV Adventures. Thanks a lot for joining me, really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you've got a solar system or battery setup. I'd love to know. See you soon. Take care and bye for now.